Football's playing on ESPN.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, hold up.
Well,
All right,
my computer isn't loading up, so I won't be able to look at the doc.
All right, stop this live. And restart it.
Yeah.
No, that's too. I just edited it out. Whatever. Got it. All right.
I could do a mute thing. I hear myself.
Yeah, can somebody turn the broadcast off? Stop this live.
Yeah.
Let me mute this. John. All right,
She was behind.
Got it. All right. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the official 15th episode of the FloorSpacers podcast. I, of course, am your wonderful and beautiful host, as always, Senor Bobby. Hi. And joined today as well with me, good, are the two greatest people of all time, Senor Monk. I never introduced you first, Monk, so take the stage.
Hello, how are you guys doing? Some good things to talk about. Hopefully you guys are tuning in. So let's get it.
And Senor Estefan Aboyeli, please, por favor.
Basketball is back, gentlemen, and I'm ready for it.
All right, hold up. Hold up. There we go. All right.
Wait,
so,
what?
And like Steve said, today is the first day of the second half of the season, which very excited. We haven't had action since Sunday, so to kind of get back into things, I am most definitely ready. And speaking of Sunday, the entire weekend was, if you guys live under a rock, was All-Star Weekend, of course. Set in the greatest city in the United States, I think Cleveland, Ohio. And I think the Cleveland Cavaliers played exceptional, hosts for the event. So, not much to say there, but it was a very interesting All-Star Weekend. The game was pretty fun. The new Rising Stars, not the new Rising Stars, the new Skills Challenge format was actually very fun as well. The three-point contest was fun. The Rising Stars game was fun. The dunk contest was absolutely trash, but we got to talk about that. But I guess first things first, I guess if you just want to talk about the newest and, most important, I guess, quote unquote thing to talk about is the new Rising Stars format. And I touched on it before. It was a pretty fun format. I think I like how there was three different things. And I don't know if I really like how the scoring system worked. I thought it was kind of weird. Actually, I guess, I don't know, but
what do you mean, the first to 50 and then the first to 25?
No. For it's how the first round, the shooting thing was 100, and then the passing.
Oh, you're talking about the skills I thought you were talking about the Rising Stars.
Oh, the skills. Yeah, my fault. I'm sorry. I keep messing this up. But yeah, the skills contest. Yeah. But I thought it was kind of weird. But it's still pretty cool nonetheless. And I think I don't know. I think the passing thing was pretty weird too, because it's it doesn't matter if you make the shot or not or whatever. So that was a very weird thing, I guess. But overall, I do like the new format, and I do think it's much more interesting to watch. Whereas last year, the year before, it was just just before all this, it was just more like a throwaway, no one cares type thing. But how do you guys feel about the Rising Stars contest? Wait, hold up. Also, the Cleveland Cavaliers won that, so.
Again, the skills contest, not the Rising Stars, but.
Oh my gosh! All right, you know what? I'm going to stop talking.
But I thought it was cool how they were trying something new with it. The skills contest is always the least exciting out of the three on All-Star Saturday night. So I felt like they were trying to do something new with it to bring more viewers in for that first half of the show. And I kind of like how they had the teams. I felt like the teams that they decided to go with, other than the Cavs, were kind of weird. I felt like they could have tried maybe organize that a bit better. And then some of the events, like Chrissy said, were also pretty flawed with the scoring system. How the third round is worth 200, 300 points. So the first two rounds didn't even really end up mattering all that much to begin with. So then they had the weird tiebreaker where they had Garland and Thanasis Antetokounmpo taking one shot at the top of the key each for three to see who wins the tiebreaker. So that ended up being like really weird, but
Mm.
all in all, it was still like pretty entertaining, I guess. It was cool the Cavs won in front of their hometown.
Yeah, like I feel like the teams were thrown in like I feel like people like the NBA asked them like a week before or something. I felt like teams were like constructed, but like the Antetokounmpo brothers, like that's cool and all, but like they're not gonna win. Like with especially with like 3-point shooting and stuff. So like the rookie team was all right. Like that was kind of constructed well, but and then the Cavs, like that was pretty cool. It was kind of crazy to see it's like Mobley like basically carried them, like not carried them, but like he was like doing some crazy stuff, especially like the 4-point shooting thing. I still remember that. But like the format's nice. It's just they gotta fix the point system. That's really the only thing. It's not nothing
True.
else is wrong with it.
I like how like the Antetokounmpo team was pretty weird, but I kind of like how like Giannis was actually willing to participate in like one of these like side
Oh
events of
yeah,
All-Star Weekend. Like having a
he's like
superstar
that.
involved is pretty cool.
Yeah, he was the one to do it though, so I'm glad, kind of glad.
But speaking of stars not being willing to, be involved in these side events during All-Star Weekend, can we just get this out of the way and talk about this terrible dunk contest? Like that was
Uh, that was the
there was just
worst
there was
thing.
just so much downtime. All like first of
Yeah,
all, for the first dunk, Cole Anthony put on his pair of Tims and was like doing this weird dance, and then it ended up taking him like 2 to 3 minutes to put the Tims on to begin with, and
hmm
then he missed like 3 or 4 times before finally making the first one, and from there on out, everyone was just missing so many dunks in the first round. The first round took so long.
I think the highest score was like a 46 or something,
I think
47.
I think Obi's dunk was the highest or something like that.
Yeah, like I mean that was a good dunk, but like, jeez, that was rough. And you saw like the video of Kareem leaving. That was pretty funny.
Right.
And
I,
this is so bad. It was really bad.
I wish more stars and like more recognized players were like willing to participate in these like they were before. Like I don't really
Yeah,
like a lot of players say like I won't participate unless I make the All-Star game. That's what like I think that's what Levine said, or that's what Aaron Gordon said the last time. He was like, I'm not participating in another one until I make an All-Star game or something like that. But
well, I feel like he has a right to not be in it because they just like screwed him out like for 2 years, and
sure,
that
yeah.
was pretty. But like Ja, like Zach Levine still has a reason to come back. Like he's won it twice, I think.
Anthony Edwards would be cool.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. Like if Zion was healthy, like I'm surprised like LeBron's never done it in his career at all. Like I really wish that these people did it. That'd be so much better than. I'm not saying like these are random players, but like you could do better than that.
Right. Like these I feel like props to the four players who did compete for like actually accepting the invite and being willing to participate. But I don't know. I feel like the guys who participated were more like in-game dunkers. Like Juan Toscano Anderson, I wasn't expecting him to make the final round of this. Like he seemed like
Yeah,
he would just have like two like maybe decent dunks in the beginning, kind of get the crowd hyped or whatever, and then just be
right.
out of it. But even he himself said that he wasn't expecting to make it that far.
No, I mean that's facts. Like the funniest thing about the whole dunk contest is the fact that I think it was so dumb. It was on Twitter actually. Everyone had the nerve to come at the Cavs crowd or the Cleveland crowd for not getting excited. I'm like, bro, did you see the dunk contest? Like, how is anyone supposed to get excited about that? And another thing I saw actually, it was like they were proposing like new like changes, to the format, and they were saying it should be like with those YouTube influencer dunkers, like you know what I mean, like those.
Wasn't
Oh,
Stephen A the one
that,
who said that? I saw that.
I guess it was Stephen A. I don't know, but yeah, they were saying it should be like those guys versus like NBA players. I feel like I don't know how I feel about that honestly. I mean, I don't know, bro. You probably get some like forced stars to come in here, and then like they're gonna go against like, um, what's that dude name that discount Julian Neiman? What's his name?
Geo
Oh,
Wise,
Gio
but he's
Wise.
not.
Yeah,
No,
like
but
those type of.
there's some cool like there's like professional dunkers. Like that's all they do. That'd be pretty cool to see though. But like
They used to have that
I
one
feel
show on
like
NBA or NBA TV. It was like they had like a big like dunk contest with like these these just like street ballers or whatever. And
Oh,
yeah, it was like I remember Shaq was one of the
yeah.
judges before, and yeah, that was a pretty cool show. But I saw
Is
like
that like
Stephen A.
I don't like
suggested
that.
that like they have dunkers like them come on for the All Star Weekend, and then they're like each of them is sponsored by a different NBA player or something like that. If NBA players don't actually want to participate, at least get like some people who actually care about it.
I mean, that'd be like cool to watch, but then again, like I feel like the NBA players wouldn't care because why would they? So it's
True.
like
Yeah.
kind of forced.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe one like resolution they could have is like to give more of an incentive if you like win it. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Well, what can you do? Just like, I mean, you could give the contestants money, but still, I don't really think like big time NBA players really care all too much. Just be a forced thing. So I don't know.
Um,
I thought the 3 point contest was a success though this year. Like that's been like
No, yeah.
the most
that's probably
eventful in the
that's
past
probably
few
the most
years.
like consistent like event. I
You
feel
can't
like.
really you can't really screw that up too much. Like
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
because actually people actually go for that because you really I feel like the thing is people like big time players go for that contest because you really can't get hurt during through it. I feel like that's probably the biggest reason why. Like
Yeah. I
people
thought it
Um,
just
was
don't
really
do the dunk contest because either they don't care or they just don't want to get hurt for some. I don't know. I don't know why.
I mean, as long as you don't do anything stupid, uh, beep. You know what I mean? Like you're not. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously it's warranted, but I feel like, before we move on, I mean, we should have had. I mean, representatives in all the events, and Kevin Love. I'm telling you. Actually, you know what? Let me pull up I'm gonna go to Basketball Reference right now. All right, and let me look something
I
up
mean,
here.
he, I'm sure a Cavaliers player got an invite to the contest, but it's possible they just
He probably said no. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just saying, but like his number, I'm like, bro, he should have been in the contest. What I'm saying, but whatever. But he actually is shooting at
around like 40 right now.
40% on 6.4 attempts per game. So he is among the league's elite in terms of shooting. So Sean Roy, I love you, and you
He's
should have
not
been.
better than home game Carmelo.
True.
And that's also true. So actually, you know what?
I think
Uh,
Carmelo's gonna be back this Friday, so that's cool.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
yeah,
I
man.
think it's the Clippers. The Clippers.
The Clippers. All right, but I guess for the crown jewel part of the weekend, the thing that everyone tunes in for is of course. Actually, did we talk about the Rising Stars?
No, we didn't. I wanted to
Oh.
talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, Rising Stars game was also very fun. I feel like again, it was more so akin to the skills contest where it's like I feel like people didn't really watch that event as much. I feel like people just see a bunch of young guys like, oh, cool, and just move on. But again, this year's I'm really liking the new format, and I think I mean it's basically what it is, basically an all-star game for rookies and sophomores, and I feel like trying to change the rules and trying to make it more, I guess, interesting and more I guess popping, as the kids would say. Is definitely it's a good initiative by the NBA to do that, I feel like. And I mean, I had a lot of fun watching it, this past weekend, not just because of the Cavs, but just in general. I feel like, just seeing how everyone just kind of come together and just, play together and all that, and I actually care. Whereas, like, in the years before, prior to like the whole fourth quarter, point total thing, I feel like it was just like even the All-Star game, it's just people just doing, lazy fast breaks, lazy passes, like occasional nice, dunks and all that. And obviously like that was like annoying to watch in the All-Star game, but it was even worse to watch in the Rising Stars game, right? So I feel like, them coming out and implementing this new system and actually making it like fun to watch. Again, not just for the All-Star game, but also for the Rising Stars game as well, as was, very good in general. And I think yeah, man, it was cool. I like it. And the whole recreating shots thing and all of that. So yeah, I feel like it was fun. I mean, yeah, I mean, Steve, what do you want to say?
Yeah, for sure. I like the new system a lot with the Elam endings for each of the four teams that were drafted, having like a mini tournament there. At the end of like the beginning of each of those games, it seemed like a typical like all-star event. Like they were just kind of like not really playing much defense, kind of just like showing off a little bit in the beginning. But then once it was, we were thankful that every game was close because at the end of every game they were kind of like actually starting to try. Like they had a lot of like defensive minded young guys in there. Like Jay Sean Tate was trying his ass off in that game.
Yep.
I think he hit the game winner in one of the last games.
Yeah, that was a
And
crazy lineup. Man.
Sadiq Bey was pretty awesome. He was hitting all these crazy shots, contested shots. Desmond Bain went off the first game, and Lamelo and Cade were playing really well. I think they faced off in the first round, and that was pretty exciting to watch. But yeah, I'd say that new format's a success.
That's
Yeah.
Cade saying he wants to come to Cleveland, by the way.
Yes.
Probably we're working the pick and roll really well that game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is there an MVP for that game?
Yeah, Cade won it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
they
thought.
did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that I feel like that's a great addition. I just wish that the first like for the All-Star game too, like the first three quarters are more competitive, not just the fourth quarter. Like I feel like I wish there was more intensity the whole game, not just the end of it. Because then that'd just be like insane. But
Right.
I mean, it's still insane for the fourth quarter. That was really entertaining. But like I feel like they could do a better job being more like consistent the whole way.
Yeah. I don't
I mean,
disagree.
at the end of the day, they're just doing it for fun,
Yeah,
like trying to show
yeah,
off for
I
the
know
crowd and
that.
everything.
Yeah,
And
oh
plus, they're
yeah,
playing for the charities too, so they're not like trying to go super hard and like take away money from another
yeah.
charity at the end of a quarter.
But yo, speaking of
Well,
which, I
no,
was
it's
thinking about it. Wait,
yeah.
what I would say? No, what are you saying?
No, because I remember in 2020, like this is the first thing. I think didn't like LeBron's team win every quarter or something like
I
that?
think
I
so.
forgot.
I think
And
one
then
of
they
the
just gave
first
him like
years.
they just gave I think it was like Team Giannis maybe like a compensatory like donation or something. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised. Like I was saying earlier, like I think like I was thinking about it, I was like, if they kind of implement like some sort of like I guess incentives like in the contracts, like if the NBA told like teams like, yeah, um like put some all-star, incentives into the players' contracts, and it's like if you, I don't know, like win all-star MVP or something like that, you get an increase or like maybe like MVP of the quarter or something like that. You know what I mean? And like I don't know. I feel like the NBA should be like, yo, I mean,
I think they have incentives already in their contracts though if they
I mean, to become an all-star,
they make
definitely. No,
all-stars.
I'm saying like within the game itself. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
when like your team wins, you get like extra like a million, and then like you get like I don't know like game MVP, you get another million. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like yeah, there's incentives for being an all-star in general, but like I think there should be an incentive to be like, oh, like you're trying out there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like just most of the players who make the All Star game anyway are in positions for where their teams are competing for the playoff spot or whatever. So I feel like at the end of the day, like they're going to value that more than like trying in a meaningless game.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
But there were some crazy good moments in that All Star game, like Steph hitting 16 threes, absolutely
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I was
Taking
just
like
laughing, bro.
taking
I was
logo
just
half court shots, 40 footers, just and then just walking away, not even looking to see them go in. It's
dude,
ridiculous.
I was just laughing. That was insane.
I was
And
watching the TNT broadcast. It was like they had in the third quarter they had Allen Iverson on the broadcast with Reggie Miller and D Wade, and they were all just like going crazy at the same time and watching
yeah,
Steph go off.
yeah, the first quarter I was watching TBS and then they just kept the screen like
yeah,
split the whole time. So I was like, oh, I thought it was like temporary. I'm like, okay, sure, because I want
that's
to
what
watch like Shaq and Chuck and those guys, Ernie,
right.
like. So I'm like, okay, but then the second quarter started, and it's like the same thing. I'm like, oh, so like this is how it's gonna be. So that's went TNT. But Kevin Harlan was like entertaining as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I should have done the TNT one because I mean, yeah, I was watching CBS. Well, I mean, it's not like I had a choice because like um the method in which I watch the games
Oh, oh,
um
the method.
yeah, the method it only offered a TBS way of watching. I mean, again, which was cool, but like you would think that like sort of minimized screen wouldn't make much difference, but like my TV is like, a little bit ahead of me, like you know what I mean in terms of like where I sit. So like in order to like kind of squint my eyes and
Yeah,
watch, like, honestly, like, it's terrible, and I really couldn't see anything. And I had an assignment due that night, so I was like low key like preoccupied. Well, at least I was during halftime, so that's what I'm going to transition to, like the NBA 75 list thing. So the thing is a ceremony. Like I saw, like I guess, like I think when I forgot who went up, and then they started talking about the forwards of all time, and then like they announced all the forwards, and then like the guards and all that. Like I saw a bit
Mhm.
like that, and then I was hearing obviously the names in the background. I didn't see what was happening on the screen. I just saw they were walking out, and they were just kind of like looking at the camera and all that.
Mm.
But I mean, it was a cool. I mean, I obviously so I didn't see it. So if you guys want to talk about it, go ahead. I don't know if I missed anything or
That
not,
was
but
great. That was probably like my favorite like moment of the whole thing. It's like, and then like the NBA posted on their Instagram and like all their social media and stuff, just like the pictures and videos of them talking to each other in the back room. Like, dude, I'm just wondering, like, imagine like being there, like everywhere you look, it's like some icon. It's like insane. Like I couldn't imagine being somewhere like that in my life.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like
Seeing all the videos, like I was kind of worried that Jordan wasn't going to end up showing up because he was at the Indy 500 earlier in the day, and I was like, wow, is he really not going to go to this event
yeah,
tonight? And
I
then
know.
last
No, it was
second buzzer beater,
Daytona.
he shows up.
Yeah, so he
yeah, it was
came from
Daytona Speed, right?
Florida, and then he went to Cleveland. And I think like I checked the times, and Daytona started like maybe 7 or 6 hours before. So like he really like as soon as that started, he had to have just left.
What's it called? The NBA posted a picture like earlier on in the day with like all the people who were in attendance for the NBA 75, and they were all just like sitting, like it kind of looked like a high school like auditorium graduation picture or
Mhm.
something like that, with all of them just like sitting in different rows. And I was looking through and I didn't see Jordan there, and I was like, wow, he's really not going to show up. And then when they were doing the announcements, he came out last, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then they showed like the video of him in the back, like hugging Magic, and he was saying like, you going 1v1 me?
Yeah, and he had like a straight face too. It's
Yeah.
like, damn.
Look at George Gamble always trying to make a quick buck. Um,
No, it was that video. There was a video of that video, and he was saying that, and it was like I forgot who else was there. I was like Wade was there, Isaiah Thomas. I forgot who else, but like James Harden was there, like in the back, and he was just like he looked so like starstruck. It was so funny. He's like laughing in the background, like one of those like outsiders of the circle, and he just it was so funny to see.
Yeah, I saw some videos of Kawhi talking to a bunch of different people, and I was like, "Oh, that must be awesome for like these younger guys who are on the list already too."
Yeah, the only thing, well, there was I saw a post today, and it was like Draymond saying like if he won Finals MVP in 2016, then he would have made the 75 list. But like just thinking, I'm like okay, but then like Dwight should have made it, T Mac, and I don't know how like Tony Parker didn't make it. Like there's so many like we can get to it now like snubs and people who shouldn't have been there. Like I really don't think he could have made 75 before like Dwight and T Mac and like Tony Parker maybe
I mean,
maybe Manu.
if we're being completely honest, like the one thing that made it hard to add a bunch of these people from our generation, like the Tony Parkers and the Dwights, like the thing that made it tough to add them is the fact that they took from like the original list of 50,
Yeah,
the 50th anniversary, and they didn't take anybody off of that list.
yeah, that wouldn't make
So
any sense. Yeah,
they could only add 25 more, which made it difficult for them to choose. Like, if we're being completely honest, like there were some players in the 60s who were on the list who probably would get booted off like
yeah,
if they were deciding to take
but
someone.
like Dame over Dwight, I don't know about all that. Like I don't know how like it was so weird. Like props to Dame obviously, but like just seeing him in those pictures, it was so out of place. It didn't feel right.
I feel like Dwight probably should have made it over him. I feel like I can see the reason why T Mac wasn't there. Like he was on a lot of pretty mediocre teams in his career and didn't really accomplish much in the playoffs. But he had a lot of scoring titles. You could definitely make the argument for him being there. I feel like Clay probably should have been there.
I was
If
gonna say
anything.
that. I don't know about Clay, honestly, bro. I see people saying that. I don't know. He should be top 75. I don't know. I don't think he is. Me personally, I'm not even saying that just because like of like how like dislike the Warriors, like because like that's the thing too. I was gonna say that too because I mean obviously before like I hated Steph, I hated Draymond, I hated Clay, but like now that we're not like competing against them anymore, like obviously I can appreciate like their greatness and what each of them did. Obviously Curry's like obviously top 75. I mean I'm not saying this number 75. He should be higher, obviously. I mean, what do they have him on? What number do they have him?
They didn't really put any rankings. ESPN did
Yeah,
their
they
own, I
did.
didn't really look at it.
They had rankings. I wanted to talk about that too. I don't have it on me, but I know like uh I know Wade was like, I think something about D Wade that was controversial. I
Wasn't it?
forgot what
Oh,
it was.
he was in the 20s or something, right? Or like the
No,
teens.
someone was over him. I forgot who it was,
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. I forgot. Yeah, yeah.
but I
Yeah.
know it was like the top 10 was like I know like it was like Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Kareem, Wilt,
I'm
There's
Bill
probably
Kobe. I
Russell.
the
think
top 10.
Shaq wasn't top 10
Yeah,
apparently.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
Well, I think he's top 10. Tim
Well,
Duncan. Who else they
you
had?
had me choose between a center, Shaq or Wilt. I mean, you already know my answer.
Oh yeah, and I think it was like Larry Bird. Maybe I think who was
Really?
number like 8. I think he was 8. Maybe I don't know. I forgot.
I didn't think
Yeah,
yes. That. Wait, but well, yeah, Kobe was outside top 10, right? I remember people were mad about that. I think.
he was 10.
He was number 10. True. Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I don't really care all that much about like rankings all time and everything like that. Like, I
Well,
just look
another
at
thing was ESPN did it, so I think so.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
like the
another
NBA
thing.
didn't actually make their own rankings. I think it was just ESPN did it after. But yeah, like
No.
it's all like objective at the end of the day. Like I wasn't even
Yeah.
we weren't there to watch those generations, so it's like it's kind of hard to put all this together, like weighing the new generation with the past generation when you're putting rankings together and everything like that.
Yeah, it's just about accolades and averages stuff. They go by probably.
Hmm. But yeah, like with the whole Draymond argument, back to that. I mean, if Dennis Rodman was making the NBA 75, I mean, I feel like Draymond has a you can argue make an argument for him to be there too. But
Just
at
90s.
the end of the day, they're going to at the 100th anniversary. I'm sure they're going to add another 25. See it.
Oh yeah, that sucks though because at 100, a lot of those players I don't think will be there, like alive. I mean, like
True.
how old is like Kareem? Kareem won't be there. I don't know how. I forgot how old Jordan is. He's like 50 something, so he'll probably be there. But like still, yeah,
Now we're predicting
100.
NBA players' lives.
Oh yeah, my bad, my bad, my bad. I really wish Wilt was there, man. And like obviously like Kobe and stuff too. Like when the Lakers like the those people like got the Lakers players to take a picture, I was like, damn, bro, that kind of hurt. Like it was
Wait.
like all the
Oh, there's like
it's like
I didn't even see who was in it.
it's like Shaq, Magic, Worthy, like
Jerry West.
uh yeah, Jerry West, everyone, and then
LeBron.
LeBron was in it. And I was like, what is LeBron doing here? I'm like, bro, this shit, shut up,
Oh,
bro.
the championship.
Like they were missing like yeah, I know. Like I was like, damn, bro. Like and they had a whole space like in the middle was like it's like Kobe should have been there. And like there was also like Wilt missing, like George Mikan, like there's like at least that's crazy, bro. I couldn't look at that picture anymore. God, I couldn't.
Yeah,
But
that was.
like that
I thought it
whole
was
event,
really. I thought it was really cool how they
yeah,
had everybody there at the same time. They were recognizing all the past
yeah,
greats at the
that's
same
great.
event.
Yeah. And they all got to like, like reunite with each other, stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Do you guys see when
And they all,
Ray Allen was being announced? How KG was like
yeah,
he was like
yeah.
he
But
looked like he was like making fists and like looking the opposite direction
yeah. But
as he
like
was like shaking
Paul
hands with
He's
Pierce,
LeBron.
he's not gonna do anything, bro. Come on, you're not. He's
yeah,
Yeah,
Paul Pierce like posted a picture with them, I think. So apparently it's fine.
yeah.
well
Yeah.
with AI and I mean not AI.
Oh
With
no, the Ray Allen,
Ray Allen.
And
yeah,
KG.
yeah, those three, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all. That's all fake, bro. It's like, bro, at this point, just you're like washed up. Just stop. If he was still playing, then fine, still be mad. But bro, all y'all retired. Like it's just at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, just to sum it up real quick. I mean, again, it was pretty. I thought it was pretty fun All-Star game. LeBron hit that game winner.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
I thought he missed again because that dumbass TBS broadcast. It's all like minimized, so I thought he like side rimmed it. So I was like, "Ooh, that's a bad shot." But then everyone's like celebrating. I'm like, "Why is everyone celebrating his air ball?" And then yeah, but I mean that was a crazy shot. Obviously you had Jared Allen clapping up the beat. You know what I mean? At
I
the
think
end
he
there,
had like 38 or something. I think he
I'm
had
saying
like
he
38 points.
strapped him up when it counted. All right, he strapped him up when it counted, and And I
Did
think
you
Darian said that basically a half court shot pull up. That was like Steph Curry, like modern day Steph Curry, I guess. So that was very cool as well.
did you guys
Uh,
see did you guys see that Nick Wright thing that he said about Jokic? That was so
yeah,
dumb.
yeah,
I
He
yeah.
said he
forgot
said
what.
he said he basically said that like for at least for the past year or more or so, Nick Wright's been like saying that Jokic is like the most overrated MVP of all time because of like injuries. He said he only won the MVP last year because of injuries or whatever. And he's saying that like he shouldn't be like in the same tier as like the other superstars in the league. Like he should be like on the bottom half of the top 10 or whatever. And
Why? It's just because he's like an unathletic center. It's probably why. Like he's
yeah,
not one of those high flying centers like that. That's probably why they say it.
well, yeah, he's just not as like he's not like a big as big a name as like LeBron or KD or Giannis. But anyway, he made the argument that Jokic shouldn't be in the MVP conversation this year over Embiid or Giannis because in the All Star game he wasn't closing the game in the last 5 minutes,
Oh man.
and he said that
Oh,
he was letting Embiid cook him the whole game even though nobody was playing defense. I just don't understand. Like these are people who are getting paid to speak about their
Dude,
NBA
that's what I'm
experience and act
saying,
like
bro.
they-
Like
no, listen,
they
like I said
that's what
earlier,
I'm
it's
saying.
definitely all persona. It's all a character, bro. There's no way someone actually thinks
Just
like
to
that.
get clicks and views. Like it's like, my God, dude. I
it's like
wish.
all right, it's all right. Every time Jimmy Butler has played an All Star game, he's played like 5 minutes or less. So does that mean that nobody should take the Heat seriously this year as the one seed?
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, you can't
I
be
don't know,
serious with
man.
that.
It's I don't know. Some
Um,
people like that, I don't know why. And I remember the Skip Bayless tweeting at LeBron like 50 times during the All-Star game.
It's that's an asterisk game winner in the All Star game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In an
wait, why? Wait,
asterisk
what was the
game.
reason? Why do you say that?
Just 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 being him. Like he's like and then like when Jordan came out in the 75 team, he's like the real GOAT has entered Cleveland or something. And he's like my goat, Jeffrey Jordan, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Like he said, like his whole middle name. Like it's dude, it's so weird. Like I don't know what it is with him. And then every time, like you ever see those pictures of him, like whenever he wears the Jordans, he's like, "I'll never lose in these." He always says that. It's the funniest thing ever, but so cringe at the same time.
You know, my background should have been that picture of him on the
Oh
staircase.
yeah, with the red shoes, the red Jordans.
Dude,
Oh
it was
my
very
God,
interesting.
dude. I don't know how they stay this far. It's people clicking for their views, but
Because of all the
it's
Lemicki people on Twitter, they love that stuff.
yeah, the instant ratios.
Didn't they say
But
that?
anyway,
Remember that one graphic where it said like Skip Bayless had more tweets about LeBron than
Yeah,
Savannah?
then his own wife did.
Yeah, something like that. Like that's hilarious, bro.
Oh my
It's-
God, dude.
His contract incentives must be huge. Like, bro, just
Oh,
hate on.
definitely. It has to be. It has to be. There's no way.
But yeah, I mean, but yeah, like I said, it was a fun weekend. I thought it was pretty good apart from the dunk contest.
had its ups and downs for sure, but it was
Yeah.
like with the NBA 75 and everything, it was really cool.
Yeah, and I guess just to move on real quick. So now that I guess this is what we're gonna talk about. I guess the second half of the season. You know, when teams start getting more serious. You know, the buyout market comes a bit more active. So I guess just kick it off real quick. I guess let's talk about like I guess a young player, that might be looking. I guess kind of got their feet wet and might be ready for that bigger role, bigger production. Um, and I guess to start off for me, um, I mean, I'm gonna go with the easy answer because I feel like Steve's gonna have some sort of big Dilf answer, but we talked about it in our last episode. I'm just gonna say it. Again, I think the Pacers did a good job retooling, and I think uh, you know, the Halliburton and I mean, I know obviously Duarte isn't like objectively young. He's like what 26 or something like that, 25 or something. How old is he?
He's like 24.
Oh, never mind. All right. But I mean, either way, it's still like a nice quote unquote young core they have going on there. So I feel like definitely look for them to kind of make noise in the second half. Um, I mean, what seed are they right now? 10? No, 11, 12?
The Pacers?
13? Yeah.
They're I think they're like probably 13th. I think they're right above Orlando and Detroit.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like, look, I feel like I guess the safest bet to go with is Pacers, and I don't know I know the East is obviously tight right now. And if they go on a theoretical run, I don't know if that's enough for like a play and push. But I mean, yeah, safe answer. I'm gonna go with them. But who do you guys think is gonna take off?
You talking about player or team?
Player, team, whatever you want to say. I mean, I guess the question's like young player, but I mean,
Uh,
I guess
But like you know how like at the end of every All-Star break, like usually the teams that are kind of out of it start to like kind of push the veterans out of the rotation to give more opportunity to the young guys at the end of the season
yeah.
anyway. And just, like, is there any young players that you could see on like some lower tier teams that could like pop off this second half?
I I feel like,
Austin Reeves.
huh? Oh, that was no, literally that was literally one of my options, but like I didn't want. Well, I could talk about Austin Reeves, but it's not really a lower tier team, I guess. I wouldn't really call any LeBron team a lower tier team. Like, it's just the Lakers, obviously standing wise, yeah, but like, I'm not gonna say like, because he's not really like, he's still coming off the bench. He won't like start or anything, so it's like he only plays like 15 minutes a game, if that. But I don't know. I feel like, uh, he's not really lower tier, but like I still love what like the Spurs and like DeJounte Murray are doing. He's not really lower tier. He's a lower tier team, not a lower tier player. Like, he's been like, I'm glad he finally got like an All Star nod, because like he's been kind of getting snubbed, and like since the Spurs aren't the Spurs of old, like no one really bats an eye to them anymore, really, and like people really have that notion that like Popovich is old, so like he just doesn't care anymore. But like Murray, like on the Spurs now, like it's definitely like a big plus that they have him. And like with the numbers he's putting up every night, like I see it, it's like insane. So like I feel like they have the chance. I don't know what seed they are, I forgot.
Right
But I
now
know they're like,
they're tied with Portland, or not tied with Portland. I think they're right behind Portland.
yeah. Like, oh, I have one more player. If you don't have real quick, for Portland
Yeah.
too. It's obviously like, yeah, Anthony Simons too. Like he's been crazy so far. But like DeJounte, like I feel like they have a chance to push for 10th. But like real quick, I'll go to Anthony Simons too. And like I definitely like I feel like he's peaking at like the right time, because like Dame's been out for a while, and then CJ just got traded. So now like he's having his time to like shine as like one of the premier ball handlers of that team. So like him going off right now is definitely a great sign for Portland, and like for him in general, because before like he didn't really get too much playing time, I don't think. But now, like obviously, like since Dame and CJ are out of the picture as at the moment, like definitely got like he's definitely improved this season. His season's been really great. Like, he's putting up insane numbers and stuff.
Some of the shots that he's been hitting are like really Dame like too, like these sidestep threes,
Yeah,
step backs, and
they
everything like that.
definitely like worked on it together.
He's like shooting a ridiculous percentage on like off the dribble threes. He's like 45% on like 10 attempts per game since like being named a starter when Dame went out. So it's yeah, he's doing some crazy stuff. He's kind of already
Yeah,
started to like make that rise. So I could definitely see him like continuing that on as the season goes on.
yeah.
But
I think those two, yeah, for me.
yeah, one of my picks, I want to say on OKC, I want to say Trey Mann. He's kind of already had like a few games before the All Star break where he started to pop off with SGA out. But I could definitely see them like, especially with uh, them being out of the playoff picture. I could definitely see them going with like some more small lineups with him playing alongside Shea and Dort and Giddy. But yeah, Trey Man, he's a certified scorer. I could definitely see that him being like a long term sixth man for them if they're keeping their core intact. But yeah, he's been showing some really good scoring signs recently. I think he had like a 30-point game right before All Star break. I think it was against the Knicks in that same game where Giddy had the triple double in MSG. But yeah, I think he's going to step up pretty big. And then another one, just obviously Tyrese Halliburton. He's already been going off since arriving in Indiana. He's kind of like their focal point now with some of their guys injured, like Brogdon and Turner, and obviously like Sabonis being shipped out. So yeah, he's been playing really well since getting there. They've only got like one win, but that's kind of like what you want anyway with Indiana. They're trying to get a good draft pick and build through Halliburton at the same time. I think since being traded there, he's like leading the league in touches per game. So that shows like that Rick Carlisle is, focused on putting that offense around him. So yeah, I really like what I've seen from him so far too.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I guess I'll add one real quick just because I'm watching the Cavs and Pistons in the background. But hopefully, Bagley can turn things around in Detroit.
For sure.
He just scored a bucket. He just scored like a post up on Mobley. But I mean, when he first got drafted, his rookie season he got off to a good start, but then and ever since it's been pretty rocky for him in Sacramento. So I feel like again, hopefully, with this Pistons uh I guess team and they have some sort of I guess direction they want to go and they can kind of future him more. So I like that for him and hopefully he can bounce back. And speaking of Sacramento, I kind of want to move on to the next thing. So I guess like the question is obviously like I guess that plane race in the West is pretty tight right now. So I think out of all the teams that are there, out of the Blazers, Pelicans, San Antonio, and Sacramento, I don't know who I would choose definitively, but I would say right now I'd put it between New Orleans and Sacramento. Um, so obviously with New Orleans, what the hell? With New Orleans, you got CJ playing there now. So hopefully he can get sped up and get acclimated real quick. I remember he kind of for the last like month his shooting numbers haven't been great. So hopefully he can kind of get back in rhythm and find his groove in New Orleans. And Ingram's having a really really good year. I feel like it's kind of been underrated a little bit. So hopefully them two can come together and kind of just combine, the offensive punch and provide a lift to that team. I mean, you guys know that I've low-key been a weird in the shadows bandwagon fan of the Pelicans for some reason. So I mean, I kind of want to see them, do good. And then with the Kings, I mean, it's more the same thing. I think like Steve talked about on our last episode. The offense looks a lot more dynamic now. And kind of just double back what I was saying like last time. Again, I feel like you could have gotten Sabonis without giving up Halliburton, but that's not here or there. I'm not going to talk about it this episode. I just want to say that, but I feel like I mean, regardless, you're still talking about an all-star caliber center who can who can terrorize defenses from the low post, and I think his shooting touch has gotten a lot better too this year. I feel like I don't know if his attempts are going to really increase like that, but I feel like his touch has definitely got a lot better. You can see it too. So I feel like pair him with Fox. See what those two could do. Obviously, it's weird because one plays slow, one plays fast. But I feel like honestly, if you do it right, I feel like you use that to your advantage, in the half court especially. You know what I mean? If you can try to trip up offense again, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I feel like you can. And then obviously, hopefully, Davion considers a solid play. And the Me Too movement, Chimezi Metu, and all of that. So I mean, again, huh?
So that's the boy.
Yeah, that's the boy. And then Harrison Barnes, of course. So, hopefully, again, I think those two teams can duke it out. I think for that playing race, and yeah, that's what I feel like. I think personally got to do better. Thank you.
Yeah, I like how Sacramento's offense has looked so far. Like I saw a thing on Twitter earlier that said that since the bonuses arrived, that they're like in the 90th percentile in like finishing around the rim on layups, and they're in like a really high percentile in like layups attempted. So they're getting to the rim a lot better, and they're converting on those. So that's like some really efficient offense there. And then also, although they're only shooting like a pretty low volume of threes, they're also shooting like a pretty high percentage since the deadline as well. So like their offense has gotten a lot more fluid, and they're getting like all the most efficient shots off and making them at a high clip. But then again, like Sacramento's defense is also still pretty abysmal. It didn't really get much better there. But yeah, I'd say they're definitely improved as a team since this bonus trade, at least in the short term. But for me personally, this out of those like four teams kind of in the mix for the 10th seed, it's may come as a surprise, but I don't know if this is bold, but I think San Antonio might take the 10th seed.
Really, why?
Even though Derek White got traded, this kind of like opens up more of an opportunity for the offense to run around DeJounte. Like he's going to have the ball most possessions. His touches are probably going to go up, and also like Derek White's one of the best defensive guards in the game. So like you're obviously losing a little bit there, but replacing with Vassell in the starting lineup, your spacing is a lot better for your offense around DeJounte, and the Vassell's still a really solid perimeter defender as well. So you're not like it's not too much of a drop off on that end either. I think they won like 3 out of their last 4 games before the break, so their offense was looking really good as well, with more spacing around Pirtle down low too, and DeJounte's got more space to take his mid range shots. So yeah, I've liked how they've looked before the break, and also I'm pretty sure New Orleans and Sacramento are both top 10 in like the toughest remaining schedules as well. So I don't know. I feel like San Antonio might capitalize on that and might shock people, but I feel like they might get the 10 seed.
San Antonio, no, like what you said, like Jakob Poeltl too. Like he's been really good this season. Like, but I don't trust Sacramento to actually, make the playoffs because, like you said, like their defense is pretty awful, and New Orleans, it all I think depends like how CJ works with the team and like if they're like stay healthy and stuff like that. But like I kind of agree. I before this started, I thought Sacramento would actually be there because you could trust DeJounte, and now like as you said, the offense can go through him. Like he's so versatile, so I feel like he can make it work, especially with like Popovich as his coach. So I think they're well equipped. So I don't trust Sacramento or like New Orleans maybe, and who's the other option?
Portland.
Portland. Yeah. Without I don't know how they would fare, without like I mean they've been all right. I like Anthony Simons, like there's some bright spots to the team, but I don't think it's enough to make the playoffs in total without Dame there.
Yeah, Portland went on a little streak. Like they went on a 4-game winning streak, I think, for the All-Star break. And that was like in a large part due to Simons and Josh Hart playing really well. But
Josh Hart.
But also Nurkic was playing really well in that run too. Like he was averaging like over 20 points and like 14 rebounds. He was really efficient, getting a lot of offensive rebounds. But
he got
it was
hurt,
just announced. Yeah, I was just about to say it was just announced that he's going to be out for at least a month or more. Probably, I can see them just sitting him for the rest of the season at this point. But yeah, without him, I can't see them making like a serious push.
Yeah. There's some.
I think San Antonio is definitely like a sleeper for the 10th seed. I don't think people are talking about them as much as they should be.
Is there much of a race for the play-in spots in the East or no? Is there because I know New York is there.
I don't think
I think Atlanta's still in that range though, but they could definitely.
Atlanta's 10th right now. They have like a 1 or 2 game lead over Washington and New York, but I can't really see Washington or New York like taking over like Atlanta or like a Charlotte. I think the 10 teams that are in the East right now are going to end up being the teams that are there. But you never know really. Like especially with Washington with Beal out now, I can't see them making any type of a push. And the Knicks have just been so inconsistent all year. And with the news of them just like sitting Kemba now, it seems like they're maybe going to try to finally start playing some young guys and developing there. So I feel like the East is kind of set.
Yeah, I saw that Kemba wasn't interested in getting bought out, apparently. So he wants to stay there, I guess. I don't know why.
I mean they signed him to
for the money.
They signed him to a multi-year deal. So
so he's probably chilling, but
they'll probably just end up trading him.
Yeah, they said they're trying to trade him, but I mean, I feel like the reason probably he wants to stay is because, I mean, he probably wants to go to the Garden and see his family there because I know he's from New York. So, but I guess I don't know if you guys want to say it real quick or talk about it real quick, but I guess flip the script on the East, the Superior Conference. And obviously the top 4 or 5 is like very very congested right now, and like you win one game and you can be the first seed basically. So, I mean. I was actually listening to I don't know if you guys know Lockdown Podcast or whatever. So they did this thing where they got so they have the whole network, right? So they have like 2 guys for all 30 teams, and they invited 1 guy per each thing. And I think they got the guy from the Milwaukee Bucks podcast, the Cavs podcast, the Sixers podcast. Actually, the Sixers guy wasn't there actually, but and then I forgot who else was there. But then a couple of the Eastern Conference top 4 teams, and They asked like two questions. So I mean, they asked like, all right, so like if your team, obviously top four, like what team do you not want to see in the first round? Um, and for the Cavs, I mean, I would say, assuming we stay where we are right now, and no one pulls up, or I mean, I guess like how it's like. Actually, no. I guess the playoffs in general. I think the question was, I think, but I think if we play um, Milwaukee, we'd be screwed. If we play Brooklyn, I don't know. We'd probably be screwed. And then if we play Miami, I feel like it'll be a good matchup. Um, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll ask you some question because I was curious because the Sixers guys on their seat. So who would you say like who would you want to play, I guess, like or who would you want to avoid in the playoffs? Whether it be like the first round or whatever, but who like you know what I mean? Like I mean, what
Right.
would you
So out of like the top teams, who would I want to avoid? Is what you're
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Honestly, for the Sixers, the team I would probably the teams I'd probably fear most are Miami and Milwaukee from matchup standpoint. Just because like I feel like with Harden coming in and Embiid, like I feel like they're going to try to run the offense through those two a lot of the times. Probably a lot of pick and roll action coming in. Uh, you know, but Miami's got a really good defensive group there. Jimmy and Bam are going to do all they can to stop those two from scoring. And then Miami's also got a lot of spacing, and the Sixers are kind of lacking in perimeter defense right now. So I could definitely see Miami being a huge issue there. Same thing goes for Milwaukee, like Drew, Giannis. Um, who knows if Brooke Lopez
Middleton.
is going to be back? But yeah, they have a lot of really good defenders, and they have a lot of really good shooters. So I feel like those two teams would be like the matchups I want to avoid the most.
Yeah, and I guess since we've talked about the great teams of the East, Aaron, let's talk about the property franchise, Los Angeles Lakers. So you guys are what, like the 10th seed right now, ninth seed, I think, right?
Yeah, we're like one game back of the AC. Yeah.
So assuming the
Yeah.
Lakers finish like in the play-in tournament, who would you want to play, I guess, in the tournament? Or who would you prefer to be? And then like how do you feel about, whoever you play in the first round being, I don't know, probably Phoenix or Golden State, I think, right? Yeah, Golden State second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're top two.
yeah.
Who would I want to play in the play-in? I don't care because I don't think it should matter because if that team loses to any of those teams, then already the season is like disappointing. But like if they lose to the play in the play-in to any of those teams remaining, then I feel like it shouldn't matter who we play. But to answer the question, I feel like obviously want to get to the 8th seed or the 7th seed to just do one game elimination or to just if you win one game you pass.
Right.
So I mean, if it's the 7th seed, we play the 10th seed, right?
No,
So
it's seventh and eighth play each other, and then ninth and tenth
seventh
play
and
each
eighth.
other.
Teams I'd want to avoid. See, that's so hard because it's such a different question for your teams, and it's a different question for mine because saying I want to avoid the Kings is so like it's so sad to say. But I mean, the Kings are a team I definitely want to play. Uh, I feel like a team that I want to avoid if I had to choose would probably be, I guess, Portland maybe, just because like it's happened before or not Portland. I don't know. It's such a hard question. I wouldn't want to avoid any team because I feel like we're better than them. But then again, it hasn't been that way. Just
Right.
because like
With
this,
the
it's
Lakers,
such a you don't know what you're gonna get from this team. That's the thing. So long story short, I wouldn't want to avoid any team. I'm not scared of any team. I'm scared of ourselves. That's what it is.
I like that
That's
answer.
what
makes sense.
that's what it's gonna do. I'm scared of ourselves
Like
because it's
some of those teams have actually have done pretty well against the Lakers this year. Like I'm pretty didn't the Spurs win 2 games
that's
earlier
why
this season?
that's why I said Portland because there's people who go like 40 points, 20 for 22 shooting for it could be any team. But like I'd just be scared of like Simon's doing that to us because he's done it to us already. Like, but like that'd be the best answers. I'm not scared of any team in that play in. I'm just scared of ourselves and what it's
What
going
would
to
you,
be because you never know what you're going to get from this team.
what would you do if the Lakers win the first game against whoever they play in the 9-10 matchup, and then in the second
And
game to make
lose.
for the eighth seed, you have to play against the Clippers team with Paul George back, and then lose.
That'd be crazy, bro.
Yeah, at this
I
point,
don't know.
like it doesn't even matter because I don't even know when like AD's coming back and like if he's ever gonna be 100%. Like I don't know, man. Because
I mean,
there's
first you got to secure the ninth seed. What if you just fall out, and then two of those
well,
bottom
just for
teams?
the play-in, because like this is the difference between last year and this year. Last year, this team, when not healthy, still proved that they were one of the top teams in the West. Like, even like before, like LeBron got hurt, like they still had either LeBron or either AD. Like that team was enough. Like they showed that they were like a a good team that could compete. But instead, this year, even when they were healthy, let alone when they weren't, this team never showed anything like that. So it's like I wouldn't say like I don't have confidence in them, which I don't have 100% confidence in them, but like if they make it, they make it. If they don't, then like it's not like mind blowing because it was pretty expected. Like he won't go far. If LeBron magically does LeBron things, then maybe, but like I don't see it to be honest.
Like I said, I feel some parallels between this season and the 2018 Cavs season. So I feel like another Lithanos, Brazy postseason runs.
If he does that, then I don't know. From the like the eighth seed, dude, I don't know what I would say. Well, there is one thing that I don't know if we do get the eighth seed, we don't know when Chris Paul is coming back. That's one thing we could actually segue into, but like I don't know. I don't know if we make it to the eighth seed, would that be obviously losing Chris Paul is big, but like I don't know if that's enough to actually beat them if we make it to that position.
Oh yeah,
I feel like for Phoenix with the CP injury news, like I think they'll probably just end up keeping him out the rest of the regular season. Maybe if he's healthy by the end, they'll play him a few games to get back in rhythm before the playoffs. But uh, I feel like they have enough depth at the guard position now to kind of hold down the fort and keep the one seed. They already have a pretty sizable lead. I think they're like 6.5 games over Golden State for the first seed.
Yeah.
So I feel like they already have a pretty sizable lead to be able to keep the one seed for the rest of the season. All they got to do is Booker got to keep playing how he has recently. I saw a stat earlier today. It said like he's 75% shooting on like mid-range shots in the clutch, which is absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, that's crazy, bro.
But yeah, as long as the rest of that team stays healthy and they keep playing as a unit like they have,
I have like
Alfred Payton's probably going to end up sliding into the starting lineup because he's kind of like a discount Chris Paul, I guess. Like he's not going to take many shots away from the other guys, and he'll just like distribute and play defense. And then they also traded for Aaron Holiday at the deadline for basically nothing. So they have enough depth to hold off at least till the end of the regular season without him.
I'm having like flashbacks of DeAndre in shooting 12 for 12 like in the game, just not being stopped. And just the fact that he would do that and if we had to play them and for God forbid somehow DeAndre Jordan comes back into the rotation, I wouldn't be able to watch
Oh, by
at
the way,
all.
I saw something on Instagram. This LeBron page I follow. He was like, the Lakers should look into signing Moses Brown, and I was like, that's very, very interesting.
Sure, I mean, why not?
Isn't he still in
It's
Dallas'
better
roster?
than oh
nah, he got waived.
Moses
He
Brown.
got waived.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
No, he got signed today. I think
I got signed today. Really?
No,
Moses
that was
Brown or was
no
it
no no
Moses someone?
that was some like G League guy named Moses Wright who got signed.
Moses Wright to
Yeah.
Dallas. I think. Yeah,
Yeah, but I know Brown is a free agent,
dude,
so I
why
mean,
not? DeAndre's not doing anything. I'm surprised like we didn't at least cut people in the trade deadline.
mhm.
Could have at least
yeah, I mean,
done that.
no, I agree, and I feel like the Lakers might be looking towards the buyout market. I mean, there's still some rumblings of, well, I mean, for the Cavs, I hope they get him, but I mean, I think
Hopefully we could. I don't know how we could trade Westbrook, but we're in a better position to trade him in the summer because it's expiring contract and that whole like LeBron, Rich Paul, Clutch Sports, Lakers beef thing. Well, Rich Paul apparently said like it was fake. I don't know if he's saying that just to like, like throw it away, but it's like actually real.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know, dude.
I feel like I don't think LeBron's gonna start beefing with like Jeannie Buss and stuff. I think that's kind of weird. Like I don't think they're gonna start beef with anything. I think the only beef he had was with like Dan Gilbert, but that's only because he left, Cleveland. But I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, I hate you guys because you didn't like trade for people. I don't think it's anything like. I feel like that's got to be kept.
The trade didn't make sense either. So like,
No, I feel like it's more so like John Wall's side of the Clutch Sports thing, where like, because he's the Clutch athlete also. I feel like it was more his side that's probably more pissed off than LeBron.
I only saw one rumor thing where it's like apparently we got Christian Wood in the deal. Then I was like, okay, why didn't we do that?
Okay,
but
yeah,
like,
obviously, yeah. Then I would do that in a whatever blink of an eye. But no. Speaking of what I was gonna say earlier, I think I heard the Magic still might waive or buyout whatever Lopez and Harris, and I feel like. I mean, look, for the Cavs, I mean, obviously, I think both of them would be great, but I feel like for the Lakers, I feel like Lopez would be pretty sturdy. I mean, maybe Gary Harris too. I feel like, I mean, you can never use too many, 3D wings, so I feel like that'd be pretty sturdy.
Yeah. I wanted Gary Harris. I was hoping we could like he would get bought out or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's still time. I think March 1st, right?
Happen.
Yeah, there's not too many people like at least right now. Like, not many people have been bought out yet, and like Dragic was kind of like the big name on the buyout market, and he just signed with Brooklyn. So, not too many like real big names left on the buyout market, especially with like Schroeder saying that he's going to be in Houston for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that was weird. But I mean, DJ Augustine's still available, so I mean, look, hey, was goody. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's going to be kind of interesting to watch there. I feel like, I think Cody Zeller's also available too, right?
I think they might have cut him, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like he could also be kind of a sturdy like name too on the table. So I think like Lopez and him are definitely like names to watch because I feel like they'll definitely be on the team by then. But I think what team's obviously the question. I think should be the Cavs, but whatever. But I guess to move on real quick.
I guess real quick, you just want to go through the Zion stuff before we end up.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, so you guys obviously know how I feel about this entire situation. I mean, look, so it's funny because obviously the whole like Zion Instagram when he was in high school, I remember Aaron wouldn't stop sending it and Gat milking him. And then that would piss me off. And I was like, yeah, you know what? He's not going to succeed in the NBA. But then obviously he proved me wrong. And he had a really good run last year. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. And obviously seeing that was obviously like, all right, this kid's obviously good. But then you start seeing reports of him, being disgruntled in New Orleans and wanting to leave. I'm pretty sure we talked about it in one of our like earlier podcasts, like episodes earlier this year. And I said the same thing. And I'll say it now. Like again, like dude's got all the talent in the world, bro. But at the same time, bro, you're like 21, 22. How old is he? 22, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is your third year in the league. You've barely played, right? You're not even out there trying to get fit. You're still eating. Apparently, you haven't reached out to CJ yet. Well, apparently CJ tweeted out. He's like, "No, it's false." But I don't know. But it's still weird. He's still hanging out. He's been away from the team. He's not even working out with them. And he's kind of keeping them in the dark. And just the whole thing of him not wanting to be there, just coming out and how his camp is treating it, I think is just so weird because it's like, bro, like yeah, you have the potential to be a guy who can say, yeah, I don't want to be here, but you're not that right now, bro. Like you can't be, this hype and be like, yeah, I'm not trying to be in this small market. Like, bro, like again, if you haven't played, like you can't act like you're like some sort of big tough all-star guy that's like everyone should be falling over there for, like, you know what I mean? Like I saw a report, it was like a list of names of players that could ask out soon, and again Zion was one of them, and this is like, bro, it just doesn't make any sense, bro. Like at least play first, you know what I mean? Like and actually talk to your team rather than like just staying away from them and just kind of avoiding them. Like I feel like that's just so weird, man. It's just bro, I know it's gonna sound weird, but he has no right in terms of asking out or being disgruntled with the situation when he's not doing anything to help it, really.
You're still really odd. You're still on your rookie contract. Like, I know you came into the NBA already having like over 1 million Instagram followers and already being like a big star like to the basketball community, but like it's just you're still on your rookie contract. You haven't even given them a chance to build a team around you yet. They're already like trying to make some moves to keep you satisfied while you're just like away from the team, like keep not even like involving yourself in any of the team activities, not even attending the games, not even like sitting courtside for your teammates during any of the games. Like just show some level of professionalism, even if you don't want to be there. Like at least like be mature and like act like a good teammate. Like JJ Redick called him out on ESPN the other day saying that like during his time in New Orleans. Like he was only there for half a year, but he said that he could tell that like Zion was like a disengaged teammate and that he wasn't really like all for all bought into New Orleans. Like I remember even watching some of the videos from Media Day last year where they were like interviewing Zion and he was saying he just like didn't even try to act like he was interested in like answering any of the questions or like getting hyped like a lot of people usually do. So it's just like it's such a weird situation. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts
It-
posting to Instagram after he gets called out, and like, yeah, it's just come
It's
on.
really weird. It's really odd. Like, cause like I remember like when he was at Duke and stuff, he really seemed like to be a humble guy and stuff. Especially
Yeah,
with like being around like RJ and Cam Reddish and everyone.
yeah,
Like I still remember like following him like crazy like in college and like high school and like he really seemed like a humble guy and like he like had like a good bringing up like of his like family and stuff and like I remember when he got drafted like he was like with his mom or something and like it was like he just seemed like a normal kid like really like he was set and like really determined and stuff and you could obviously see it like with his play but like dude like it's really odd like I didn't expect it to be like this like I expected like his weight problem to be a factor but not as like attitude portion like I feel like that's really weird and I don't know if like obviously it's some of these things got to be true like JJ like obviously said it pointed it out but like I don't know before that I didn't really like want to believe all of it because you can't really believe everything you see online. But like after JJ really pointed it out, it's kind of like eye opening. So hopefully, I doubt like because you know it's like there's like a month left of the season, so I don't know when you if you see him this season. Hopefully next season he just goes back to normal, bro. It's like I've been wanting to like see how like he plays and like obviously like see all these like crazy things he does. Hopefully, he just gets healthy, bro. Like, cause it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, like you
Like, I
see
feel bad for New Orleans, bro. Like, they really spent like everything to like trade around him, and like he was the first pick, like probably one of the most hype people like to ever be drafted, and this is how it's turning out. It's awful.
like I saw some people comparing him to his situation to Embiid's early in his career when he missed the first 2 seasons. But like even while Embiid was out, he was still like active on social media, like trying to get Philly fans hype, even when like people like kind of forgot he existed sometimes because he didn't play for the first 2 years. And then he came in, like, he did all of his rehab and everything, showed why he was a high draft pick. And then now he's, the superstar that he is today, having the team built around him. And, we've seen recently, like when Trey Young was drafted, the Hawks were pretty bad his first 2 years. But he didn't like complain and just give up on the team. They built a team around him that kind of fit his play style, and now they're like competing for a playoff spot right now. They made a pretty good run last year, so it's like these young guys got to like you can't just give up way too early on your team. You got to wait. You while you're developing. I'm sure the front office will see like how the team can be built around you and cater to your offense. So at
that's
least
what
give the
I'm
front office a chance first.
no, that's what I'm saying too, right? Like it's funny because it's like, bro, first of all, like yeah, like what you said earlier about the whole Trey Young thing, and it's funny because obviously I remember his fans were like Dick getting mad hard. They were like, "Oh, free Trey Young, all this stuff," but like he didn't. I guess he never asked out. But bro, the Pelicans, bro, you have an all-star teammate in Brandon Ingram. I know the fit hasn't been like completely clean yet, but I mean, again, if you probably played, you probably figured that out. But you know what I mean? Now they just traded for CJ McCollum, so I feel like, yo, look, if you come together, bro, and you start taking the team more serious and you try to actually, be around them and learn your teammates, you can make that a completely crazy like offense. I feel like, and it's true too. Like again, like New Orleans, like look, like they had AD before, and then obviously we all know how that ended out. So it's like a clean slate thing. Like it's like obviously the team's gonna kind of prioritize him. So I feel like yeah, he has a chance to really just grow here. He's just got to do it, bro. Like you can't, bro. I'm just saying you haven't done expletive yet for you to be hype as hell and being like yo I'm trying to get out like come on dog like again play a season bro like you know what I mean play a full season and then start talking like I just think it's crazy but
It especially
um
sucks for that fan base because the whole thing with the beginning of the season where like they were advertising, come see get your season tickets, come see Zion this season, and then he's expected to only miss like a month, but now he hasn't played at all this season yet.
right.
And now with the season tickets coming out for this season, they had like the whole description on there saying like come see your favorite New Orleans players: Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, CJ McCollum. They don't even know what to do with Zion. Like they don't even know what's going on with him. Couldn't even include his name in the season ticket sales.
Yeah. Like that, yeah, that's just crazy. That's unacceptable, in my perspective. I feel like when old heads get mad, like this is the stuff that they should talk about. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
dude barely played. Being disgruntled and not avoiding his team. I think this is so weird. But yeah, just had to get that quick rant off, I guess, before we wrap up. But I mean, I guess that's it, right? You guys, nothing else to really add?
I think we covered everything we need to now. I'm just looking forward to the second half of the season. And, obviously, like sooner or later, we'll see some more playoff basketball, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, again, like we said earlier, I think the race within like all the conferences is all so tight now. So I feel like, teams are going to start playing much more intense and probably going to start tinkering with like offensive or not offensive playoff type like lineups and looks and all of that. So definitely something to be interesting to watch for the second half of the year. And yeah, it's definitely going to be. I mean, again, the first half is really fun, but second half should be even better. So, yeah, and I think without further ado, I guess let's wrap up. Thank you guys so much for listening. Let's live on YouTube. I don't even know how many viewers we have or had. But yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna try to go live again and actually try to advertise next time. Anyway, but yeah, but yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're on Spotify, do drop those 5-star ratings and all of that, and Apple Podcasts, whatever you got to do. Subscribe to YouTube, like the video, subscribe, run with the algorithm. And yeah, man, FloorSpacers out, and Sean Roy is the GOAT, and we will try to be back maybe either later this week, probably not. Actually, probably next week, maybe next week after that. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, that would definitely be. Now, you know what? We're gonna get back to our weekly uploads, all right? But
Consistency on the way.
exactly. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening, and we'll talk to you guys later.